Let's start with that.
Yeah.
He was born a slave, 1856, and he was 9 years old when emancipation came through.
Okay.
And at that point, his mother moved the family to Malden, West Virginia, where to be with his stepfather. And Booker T had always wanted to go to school, and of course slavery was, education was forbidden in slavery, and he really desperately wanted to go to school. He did get to school started school in Malden. He was illiterate at the time. He was 11 years old. At the age of 19, he graduated Hampton University with honors. So in 8 years, he went from being illiterate to graduating with honors. This is a guy who was driven, and that aspect of his personality stayed with him throughout his life. This building, well, he was at Hampton when this university was founded in a partnership between a former slave and a former slave owner. They needed a president or a principal for their school, and so they contacted Hampton, and they sent Booker T, and that's what started. It wasn't here. It was over on Butler Chapel, I think, a shack with 30 students, and that was the start of everything. That was in 1881. This house was built 1899. So you can tell that the university had some success during that time period. This house, the bricks, and most of the interior work, these bricks were made by students and laid by students. So there was a lot of student labor to this house. And that gave students a way to work off their tuition. That was always a problem. A lot of people would come and go to school as long as they could, go home and work. Jobs on campus helped people to continue the continuity of their education. So this was designed by a guy named let's say Young, that may be wrong, but he was the first black graduate of MIT. Oh. And Robert Taylor, sorry, and he designed most of the campus buildings. Okay. So he designed this, students built it, the family moved in 1899, so that would have been Booker T, his third wife, and his 3 children.
Okay.
Okay, as you go throughout the house,
it's a crazy door.
So go throughout the house. Notice a lot of these, the carpentry work, the arches, the plaster on the walls, most of the original. They don't make houses this way anymore. Now, this is the parlor.
We were going to talk about the piano and Portia.
Okay. So we talk about the games table.
Okay.
And the mirror stove. The piano, while it's not original to the house, the piano was here for Portia. Portia was an exceptional piano player. She did study even went to Germany in her late teenage years to study.
And then the games table?
In the days before the internet and TV and even radio, people needed entertainment. And so games were the way to do it.
Okay.
Okay, this is what we call Margaret's office, and there were several, home economics students who actually lived in the house that did a lot of their studies here, and Margaret worked with them. Got a lot of work to do when this starts open again. I don't remember any of this stuff.
That's all right.
Notice what we have up here. This frieze is in all 3 rooms, and it's an original painting, and it reflects a time when Booker T and his third wife Margaret actually went to Europe and met, heads of states and kings and queens, and came back and had this painted to reflect their time there.
Mm-hmm.
This is the dining room, and notice the table here. This would have been the setup when the Washingtons were entertaining other people, which they did often here. But when I read Booker T's book, Autobiography from Slavery, he talks about his life in slavery as a child, and he said they fed us like animals. So I always wonder how he felt coming in to sit at this table with all this fine china. And notice how the pictures are hung there. This is, this plaster will just break down if you put anything of any weight into it, and it is original. So what they did was this line up here, this railing up here was picture railing. Maybe that's the name of it. Yeah. Was used to hang all the pictures. And over here you have another sitting room. The Washingtons really followed the Victorian trends of the time. So you have a sitting room here, and actually in the parlor as well, for one for men, one for women.
Okay.
And at this point, I usually ask people to guess how many bedrooms and how many bathrooms in this house. I think I've already told you, but there are 9 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. It's only one, in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I wanted to do the light fixture here too.
Okay.
Excuse me, we're done.
Steps.
We're out of here.
Okay.
Shouldn't be making more noise.
Yeah, it's just down, sir.
All right, see y'all later. Okay, so this is the only bedroom on the first floor, and this is the only bathroom. This served when the family was here as a guest room.
Okay.
When Margaret was unable to go upstairs anymore, she lived here. You have these stairs right here. You have, these would have been the stairs used by the people probably who worked here.
Mm-hmm.
And notice the lights. This was one of the first this is the first residence in the county to have electricity. So you have the 2 electric lights, but you notice the 2 bigger lights. If you're one of the few buildings in the county that has electricity, it's probably not very reliable. So the bigger lights are gas. So in case electricity just wasn't working at the time, you still had light.